Okay, so today we are going to be taking the Inibuilds A340 in the Microsoft Flight Simulator 2024 from Stansted up to Edinburgh, just for a bit of a proving flight really. So I've written up the procedures for the aeroplane now, and I'll be following them. I will pin them to the recording a bit later on. So today is more about kind of validating the functional procedures that I've written up and having a bit of fun really. So I've not been in the simulator for a couple of days, been busy. So I'm just setting all my controls back to their starting positions, making sure they're in good places. And then we're going to start working through the checklist together. So Alt 1 is a custom key binding I've made to show us the overhead panel because Inibuilds have not given us an overhead default view. We're going to go and put the batteries on, so BAT1 on, BAT2 on, APU BAT on, and then we do have the external power available, so we're going to go and turn on external power throughout the aircraft. And then the make sure strobe is on the auto setting, it is, and nav logo to 1 or 2, we'll go for 2. The APU master switch goes to on. The APU, give it a few seconds and then hit the start button for the APU. Then crew oxygen supply can go, not the emergency, the crew supply can go on. And arm the emergency exit lights. And no smoking goes to auto. Okay, so then we can go further overhead and we can go and switch the various ADIRS knobs to nav. Then shift and space brings us down into the cockpit and we can go and check the brightness of all the screens while the systems are all booting up. I've put the inertial reference system on instant alignment. You can do that in the tablet. So it's in the various settings here. You can see IRS align time and I've put it on instant so we don't have to wait around for 10 minutes for that to happen. We have got an Inibuilds flight plan we're going to be using today, so I'm going to go and do that in a moment. I'm going to follow my checklist just to make sure it makes sense. So hopefully you'll stay with me as I do that. Okay, so very next thing. Shift and 5 will bring us over to the tablet. We go to the Flight Planner app. And if you wanted to program your flight, you can do it straight in here these days. You don't have to use this though. You can, I've already filed it via the web, so I can go into my flight and I can import from Simbrief, and it goes and fetches from Stansted to Edinburgh, and it's got the live weather. Let's just check in the simulator that we're using live weather so it agrees with the flight plan. Yep, it's all looking good, it's all on live. I'm running say intentions in the background, so that's going to give us ATC coverage along the way. Okay, so we've got power to the aeroplane, so that means the radios are on, so we can actually go for clearance immediately. So we're going to go and key the microphone, and we'll see this happen. When I press the hotkey that I've mapped to say intentions, you'll see the icon light up when I talk. Well, you know, it's push to talk, so we're going to go and, first of all, we're going to go to ATIS at Stansted, and that should, with a bit of luck. Okay, have we not switched the radios on? Oh, there's something going on here. Oh, don't say the sim's going to blow up. Shift and space. Have we not got the radios on yet? So VHF 1, 127.180, ATIS. That's correct. Why is ATIS not sounding? That's interesting. I wonder if it's just going slow for some reason. So we got power to the radios. This must be a bug in the system at the moment. I heard about this the other day. Somebody had problems with this. Normally you would get a text box up with the ATIS messages. Let's just check and see if there's any new features in here that I don't know about. Source live weather. Yeah, we're going from the live weather. ATC experience is the standard one. It's worth pointing that out actually. You can change this to student pilot so they'll be more forgiving. So that's interesting. Okay, so we're going to miss out the information part because we're not getting the ATIS. Although we may be able to find it out from... Is it on the... Just wondering, has this got information written on it at the time of the flight plan? It probably hasn't, has it? I wouldn't have thought so. No. I wonder if it's got it on the PDF version. Whether... No. If we come further down and look at the meteorology report, so there's the weights, there's the flight log. Yeah, it doesn't give you a letter for it, which is what I was kind of hoping it might. But just having a quick look. Weather Service, has it got information with a letter anywhere? That's interesting. Look, no WX. Wonder if there's an issue going on. Variable 2 knots. There's no wind basically. Q10035. Blah 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 blah. Anyway, let's go and have a look at the flight. So we're taking off runway 04. You're doing UTAV 1S. So all we want to begin with, if ATIS isn't working, which it doesn't look like it is. So let's go and do a radio check first then. So we today are going to be Virgin 073. Virgin 073, radio check please. Is there a problem? It sounds like there might be. All of your aircraft comm radios appear to be turned off. Okay, this is a change. But that's definitely on. Let's turn them off and on again and just cycle it. There used to be a realism setting in say intentions for this. So I'm definitely using the microphone. Well, it keyed anyway. We heard it key. Intercom, multiplayer, that's all fine. So intercom channel 1, we will have the co-pilot, and channel 2 we will have the cabin crew, and we'll choose the cabin crew we want. Caroline from England, and co-pilot can be Amanda. Okay. So let's see if we can go straight to clearance then if we can't get... Although that's saying all of our comm radios appear to be turned off. Is this a bug? Because they are not off. There used to be an option in here. Let me just have a quick look. So, airplane model controls radio power. I wonder if we have to turn that on. Let's try that again. Radio check. Virgin 073 radio check. Okay, let's go for clearance. Let's see what they're saying. Clearance, Virgin 073 with unknown information requesting clearance to Edinburgh. So yeah, the VHF is here. Is it just complaining about the knobs here? Have they started using this regardless?
On the Stansted, good morning.
It's working.
EZ909, Airbus A340 with information Charlie, requesting IFR clearance to...
Let's try it. Virgin 073, radio check please.
This is what the ATC audio
yeah, it's
sounds
working.
like.
So it was that.
And next is what yours sounds like.
So we have to switch it on here. So even though...
073, radio check please.
Okay. So even though this is been told not to take notice of the controls in the aircraft, it is taking notice of the controls in the aircraft. That's worth knowing about for the future, isn't it? So we should be able to go to ATIS now. There we go. Zulu.
Advise on initial contact. You have information Lima.
Sorry, the Zulu is the time. Information is Lima.
Information Lima. 1250
okay.
Zulu.
Information Lima. We need to remember that. Now we can go to clearance. Now our radios are actually working. Okay, that's a new development. So it looks like there's a slight bug there in Say Intentions that it's not it's disregarding its own options about whether the radios have to be powered up in the aeroplane correctly or not. Okay, Stansted clearance, Virgin 073, requesting clearance with information Lima to Edinburgh.
Stand by for that clearance.
So I did look in on the Discord server at Say Intentions a few days ago, and I knew they were reprogramming some of their procedures and the rules, so it looks like, yeah, there's been some changes there. Here we
Virgin
go.
073, cleared to Edinburgh via the Utah 1 Romeo. Departure runway 22. Initial climb to 4,000 feet. Departure on 120.625 squawk 3242.
Clear to Edinburgh via the Utah 1 Romeo departure runway 22, initial climb 4,000 feet, departure 120.625 squawk 3242, Virgin 073. So that's interesting. They've switched the runway in the last few minutes. It was runway 04 earlier.
Virgin 073, read back correct. Ground is on 121.73 safe flight, sir.
Okay, so we need to rethink this then. Utah 1 are runway 22, so let's jump over to Navigraph where I had loaded this. So we're going to remove runway 04 and add runway 22 and then Utah 1 Romeo. Yeah, I thought this might
Ladies
happen.
and gentlemen, a very warm welcome aboard Virgin Atlantic Flight 073, heading to Edinburgh. We're absolutely thrilled to have you with us today. Please take your seats according to your boarding passes.
So now we've got
Stow
that
your
bit done,
hand luggage in the overhead
we can
bins
jump
or under
through
seats
the
in
rest
front
of
you. If you need any
programming the
assistance,
flight.
Don't hesitate to ask any
So,
of our
FMC.
crew members, including
We're going to
myself,
clear the message,
Caroline, and my fabulous colleagues, Jake,
clear the
Emily,
message,
Tom,
clear the
and
message,
Sarah.
clear the
Sit
message.
back,
So
relax,
get rid of
and
all the
enjoy some
messages,
exciting and
go
hot
into
deals we have in
init,
store for you.
and we know we're going to have to reprogram the flight because what's coming out of Simbrief is going to say runway 04. Actually, no, it doesn't have the departure, does it? So it's fine. So that's got the basic route into the aeroplane for us. We need to come over here before we do anything else and go into payload and fuel. Actually, if we did this correctly, we could go and edit it in Simbrief before we pull it in, but I think there's usefulness in changing it in the aeroplane to show you how to do that. So we're going to go to payload and we're going to import all of this information from Simbrief so you can see all the numbers appearing, do an instant load. Payload set to aircraft, and then we can come back out of here and go to ground equipment. We've got the GPU attached. We don't need to do anything else here for the moment. We're going to go into, that's the wrong app, we're going to Takeoff Performance. Going to click Sync FMGS, which will pull the weight in that we've just put the fuel in, and sync the weather, and then we can calculate, and that will give us all of our numbers. Famous last words. There it goes. And then we can send that data over to the FMGS. So then when we come over here we can now go and run through everything we need to do. So we did the init request. And we're going to go next page here and select a block for the fuel, and it will go fetch it for us. Select 0 fuel weight, and it will go and fetch that for us as well automatically. We can clear out the messages. So having done that, we can go onto the flight plan page and put the departure in. So runway departure, and they told us we're departing runway 22 today. And we're doing the, let me get this right, Utah 1 Romeo, wasn't it? Yeah.
Good evening, Ryanair 5 Whiskey Alpha, request IFR clearance.
Okay, and then insert that into our flight plan. So then if we go and look on the flight plan, we can see that in there.
Ryanair 5681, we would like to request the IFR clearance towards Eindhoven.
So we were expecting runway 24 on our flight plan
aircraft type
at Edinburgh.
And we are at stand, let me see real quick.
Just while we do this, I'm going to put ourselves on radio check. Oh, that's not working, look. So I put ourselves
on request, stand by.
Have we got the other radio tuned to the same channel by any chance? Let's just detune that radio just in case. I think that might have just been a cached conversation that carried on regardless of us detuning. Anyway, where was I? I was going to go and double check something and it's completely left my brain. Oh, the arrival into Edinburgh. So we're going to go and have a look. So in P1 Echo into runway 24. So ILS 24 and then in P1 Echo. So that's done that, and insert that into the flight plan. And then we'll just have a quick swizz through, see if there's any discontinuities. There should be. Actually not, it's going straight to the runway. The discontinuity there is if for the if you don't land, you carry on. Okay, so we've done that. We need to do the performance data. So this is where the numbers come in. We've got the blue numbers here because we sent the data over from the tablet. We can click confirm takeoff data instead of populating any of this stuff. So if we just do that, it fills it all in for us. And we clear that. We go to the next phase and just check. So there's our climb data, that's all fine. Cost index is 61. That should agree with the flight plan, and it does. And obviously we won't come into the approach data until we're in flight to make sure that it is accurate at the time. So this is the, for the answering the questions in the live stream, this is the Inibuilds A340. If we have a look from outside, it's a bit of a beast. It's huge. So obviously it's normally designed to be doing the transatlantic crossings, and we're just going to be flying up to Edinburgh, so it's an hour and a half, or less than that probably, an hour flight. So it's not going to take too long. Okay, so we've gone and put the basics into the FMC. So sit back in the cockpit, uncage the standby attitude indicator, press comma to set all of the altimeters quickly to the local barometric pressure, go and turn the flight directors on both sides, set our initial climb. So say intentions gave us it. Initial climb is 4,000 feet. That's that done. And then we'll be using managed speed, managed height, managed altitude, or not managed height, but heading, sorry. Managed altitude. We can play games. I've shown this so many times before. You can play games in having both modes open at once, so you can set vertical speed and have managed. But anyway, let's go through the rest of it then. Alt and 1 takes us back overhead. Seatbelt signs go to auto or on. External power can come off now. Obviously we were on the APU some time ago. And we can do pushback. So we're going to, because we're using air traffic services, we're going to call for pushback. So we're going to switch to ground, and they've told us the ground frequency. Oh, we need our squawk 3242. If we're going to start moving, they need to know where we are on their displays. So we're going to go and program that in. So we press clear twice, 3242, and we make sure this is on. So we'll put it on auto. That switch is on. It's on standby mode. We won't need TA until we take off for the TCAS, but it's just important that we have the transponder on when we start moving, really. Okay, so we're going to go and talk to ground. So we tune the radio to ground, so 12173. When I press that, that's a shortcut for me doing it down here. So it just makes our life a little bit easier in the simulator. Stansted ground, virtual 073, requesting pushback and engine start.
Virgin 073, pushback and engine start approved. Face northwest. Ryanair Kilo Bravo, contact tower on 123.805. Take care.
Pushback and engine start approved, face northwest, Virgin 073. Okay, so to do that, I know where we're facing, but I'm going to show you on the
Ryanair
chart.
Kilo Bravo,
So
contact tower on 123.805. Goodbye.
We want our tail to go to the right because we want to be facing northwest, okay, which is obviously where runway 22 is. There are some pushback controls in here, so let's try them out. I've not tried them yet.
Golf
So,
uniform, India Lima Kilo, runway 22 taxi,
pushback started.
via Golf, Victor, hold short of runway 4, then November,
Here
Hotel,
comes the truck.
Romeo.
We'll take our parking brake off.
Runway 22 taxi.
We haven't
via
removed
Golf,
the chocks
Victor,
yet.
Hold short of runway 4, then
So
November,
we'll remove
Hotel,
the
Romeo,
GPU
Golf uniform,
and we'll
India
remove the
Lima Kilo.
chocks.
London Stansted ground, Ryanair A3 Sierra Tango, request taxi.
Ryanair 83 Sierra Tango, runway 22 taxi, via Bravo East, Bravo, Hotel, Sierra.
That's going the right way already. Fantastic. I think Flight Simulator does have
Ryanair
some
337,
logic
Bravo, runway 22 taxi,
where it will
via
try
Delta,
to do the
Juliet,
pushback to
Charlie,
leave you
Sarah.
facing a runway. But I don't think it has a lot of logic around which runway you'll end up facing.
Charlie, Sierra, Ryanair 337, Ryanair 73 Max on your left. Ryanair
So-
12 Hotel Kilo, give way to the company 737 on your right.
To answer the question,
Giving way to the company 737.
this does have GSX integration. I don't have it.
Virgin Atlantic Flight 073
Runway
heading to
22 taxi via Bravo East, Bravo Hotel
So,
Sierra,
put the parking brake on.
Ryanair A3 Sierra Tango.
With us today. Our estimated flight time is
We'll give way to the Ryanair.
So we're going to go do engine start.
Have your attention for a moment.
Ryanair 34 Mike Golf, contact
So,
tower 123.805.
Alt 1 will take us overhead.
Ensure that your seat is in the upright
Go and put the beacon light on.
seatbelt is fastened low.
Fuel pumps go to on, so we'll go overhead to do that.
Simply lift the buckle. In the unlikely event of a loss of cabin pressure, oxygen masks will drop down from the panel above you.
And then air bleed goes on.
Contact tower on 123.805.
Nose and mouth.
And we go back into the cockpit, and I'm going to do this via my controls. I'm going to rotate the engine start switch to ignition.
Your life vest is located under your seat. To use it, pull it out.
And then in the A340, it's a little bit different to some other airplanes, so we can do engine master switches 1 and 2 at the same time. So you do them in pairs.
Sierra Tango.
Please follow the illuminated
So we should be able to do 2 at once,
exit. In the unlikely
if the simulator's accurate.
Ground, Ryanair 417, request IFR clearance to Volanta.
And then we do 3 and 4 together at the same time.
Ryanair 417, contact tower on 123.805. Have a good afternoon.
It's say intentions on the radio, by the way.
Contacting tower 123.
Let me just check the volume levels, make sure I'm not blasting everybody's ear holes out. So yeah, it's looking good. You can hear me and you can hear the ATC as well.
Oh, and just a quick reminder, if you have any power banks or electronic devices that seem warm or damaged, please let us know immediately. We hope
Okay, so we're just waiting for engines 1 and 2 to come up. I think if you just do 1, it will spin up faster. But it says, if you go and read up about the A340, they do start the engines in pairs, or that's the typical starting procedure. There we go. So that's 1 and 2. And then we can do 3 and 4. Let's make sure we've got the throttles in the right places before we do anything more. That's just my physical controls I was talking about there. So while that's happening, we can go and do a few other bits and pieces kind of out of order. So let's go, and all I'm looking at here is the list here. So predictive wind shear can go to auto. The TCAS is on standby, that's correct for taxiing. APU bleed is on, obviously, because we're still spinning the engines up. So we're just waiting for this to happen, and then we can tidy the starting systems up a bit. So we're nearly there. Okay, so ignition mode goes back to norm. Overhead, we can go and turn the APU bleed off. We can also turn the APU off. So then we can go and look at our, we can either look at the performance data, or we can look on the tablet at that takeoff calculator, and that will tell us flaps 1, which I was kind of expecting. So flap lever goes to 1. We can arm the ground spoilers. And what else have we got left to do? I think that's about it. So we're just taxiing out now. So overhead, we'll go and put the taxi light on. Take the parking brake away. Ease the throttles forwards.
Ryanair 6 Charlie Romeo, contact tower on 123.805.
Switching to tower, Ryanair 6 Charlie Romeo.
So we'll just turn ourselves around, and now we'll call for taxi. Stansted ground, Virgin 073 requesting taxi to runway 22.
Virgin 073, runway 22 taxi via Bravo East, Bravo, Hotel, Sierra.
Bravo, Hotel, Sierra. Taxi via Bravo, Hotel, Sierra, Virgin 073. Okay. What is that GA play doing at Stansted? I gave it too much throttle then. Didn't like it. Oh, there's a bit of a queue.
Golf Mike, Charlie Charlie, Yankee contact tower on 123.805.
We have precedence over you, my friend.
Over to tower, Golf Mike, Charlie Charlie, Yankee.
It seems a bit odd that having GA planes operating at an international airport, but there you go.
Virgin 073, contact tower on 123.805.
Contacting tower 123.805, Virgin 073. Tower Virgin 073 queuing behind other traffic at Sierra for runway 22.
Virgin 73 Heavy, Stansted Tower, runway 22, hold short. You're number 7 behind the 737.
No, I'm not. Holding short, Sierra, runway 22, Virgin 073. We're pushing in.
Welcome to Stansted. Contact ground on 121.73.
There's a bit of a queue, isn't there?
Contact ground on 14.73 FedEx to Heavy. Thank you. Bye bye.
Stanton Tower, Ryanair 5210, request IFR clearance to Rotterdam.
Should we ask the cabin to... We'll ask if they the cabin is ready. Hi, just checking if the cabin is ready.
All is ready in the cabin, Captain. We're just about to begin the safety announcement.
You're a bit late with that, I'm afraid. It's hardly the time to get a cup of coffee in the cockpit, is it? If we're lining up ready to go.
Golf Mike Tango Yankee Golf, hold short of runway 4.
Hold short of 4, Golf Mike Tango Yankee Golf.
Yeah, there's hardly any wind, look. Some aircraft are queuing at the other end.
Yankee, winds calm, runway 22, clear to land.
What? I don't think that's right. This guy's going to have to get out of the way quick then if he's coming in runway 22.
Golf Mike Tango Yankee Golf.
Golf Mike Charlie Yankee, contact departure.
Okay, switching to departure, Golf Mike Charlie Yankee.
Golf Whiskey Yankee Lima Hotel, hold short of runway 4.
Hold short of 4, Golf Whiskey Yankee Lima Hotel.
Go on. What are you waiting for? Go. Unless, of course, he can see something we can't at the other end of the runway. What's he doing? I think he's just put his foot down. He's just opened the throttles.
Ryanair Kilo Bravo, contact departure on 120.62 for 5 departure.
Over to departure, Ryanair Kilo Bravo.
Yeah, I think the AI just realised that it shouldn't have any GA aeroplanes
Yankee
here.
Lima Hotel, hold short of runway 4.
4 holding short, Golf Whiskey Yankee Lima Hotel.
Yeah, it's going to be there for some time because there's loads of stuff waiting on runway 22. Have we still got the queue behind us? Yep, we do. Oh, here's the one that was given clearance a moment ago. Oh my word. That was a heavy landing. He's going round. Has he got any undercarriage left?
Golf Whiskey Yankee Lima Hotel, cross runway 4.
Cross runway 4, Golf Whiskey Yankee Lima Hotel.
We have clearance. Tower Virgin 073, heavy, holding short to runway 22.
Virgin 073, runway 22, hold short, you're number 7 behind the 737.
No, I'm not.
Stansted Tower, Ryanair A340 Tango holding short runway 22, request departure.
Ryanair A340 Tango, runway 22, hold short, 737 on the runway.
No, there isn't. Stansted Tower, Virgin 073 requesting immediate departure, runway 22.
Virgin 073 heavy, runway 22, line up and wait.
Line up and wait, runway 22, Virgin 073 heavy.
Golf India Yankee, contact departure on 120.625.
Over to departure, 120.625, Golf India Yankee.
Ryanair 299 Zulu. Contact departure on 120.625.
Oh my word.
120.625 Ryanair 299.
So that's where we're getting the alarms. Let's go do the takeoff config check. What is going on? So signs check, auto brake needs to be on max, and then takeoff config test. Come on. Okay, we'll put this on T8 just to shut you up. Oh, the trim. Sorry, it's my fault.
Stansted Tower, Ryanair 8215, established on the ILS
4.9.
runway 22.
Ryanair 8215, roger. Blue Max 102, hotel contact ground on 121.73.
Did she just scream on the radio?
Switching to ground, Blue Max 102 hotel.
Okay, so we should get clearance anytime soon. Let's go put the landing lights on.
Ryanair 599 Juliet, short of
take
22,
off.
ready for departure.
Strobes are
Ryanair 599
on.
Juliet, winds calm, runway 22, cleared for takeoff, safe travels.
Well, we're told to line up on right.
For takeoff, Ryanair 599 Juliet.
Can we go? Tower Virgin 073 Heavy, lined up, runway 22. Just reminding them we're here.
Virgin 073, runway 22, hold short. You're number 2 behind the 737.
No, we're not. Negative. Virgin 073, lined up, runway 22, waiting for departure. It's got a bit confused, doesn't it?
Ryanair 83 Sierra Tango, contact departure on 120.625.
Ryanair Kilo Bravo. Welcome to Stansted.
What's he doing?
121.73.
Over to ground, Bravo.
Over to departure on 120.625, or Speedbird 137.
Switching to departure on 120.625, Ryanair 83 Sierra Tango.
Tower Virgin 073 requesting immediate departure, runway 22. He just snuck through.
Virgin 073, runway 22, hold short. You're number 3 behind the 737.
Negative. Virgin 073, I am lined up. I am in the front of the queue.
Virgin 073, runway 22, hold short. You're number 2 behind the 737. Golf Uniform India Lima Kilo, contact departure. Good day.
Okay, switching to departure, Golf Uniform India Lima
Okay,
Kilo.
I'm going to do something I've never done before. We are going to let them go.
B1.
We're going to wait our turn and see what happens. This was all caused, I think, because I jumped the queue. So we're going to let them go. While we're waiting, let's have a play with the tablet. So they should have some games on it, shouldn't they, to pass the time? Someone else crossing the runway. They need to get out of the way because this one's accelerating. Has everybody else forgotten what they're doing? No, there's just a huge traffic jam.
Mike Charlie established on the ILS runway 22.
So we're now waiting for someone else to come in runway 22. They must be about 8 miles out though. If we get a move on, we can go. We can see these aeroplanes, by the way. If we go and look on LittleNavMap.
Ryanair 13 Uniform Lima.
I'm not running LittleNavMap.
Ready for departure.
Let's go and run it.
Ryanair 13 Uniform Lima, winds calm, runway 22, cleared for takeoff. Ryanair 59er Juliet, contact departure.
Departure for Ryanair 59er Juliet. Good day.
So hopefully we'll be given clearance after this one. So we found out the hard way about jumping the queue, didn't we?
Stansted Tower, Chanix 14 Juliet Papa, established on the ILS runway 22.
So the major difference, obviously, I've seen conversation going on in the live stream about which to prefer, say intentions or beyond ATC.
On 120.625.
The huge difference here, say intentions, is simulating all of the other aircraft for us and all of their communications.
0.625, privateer 121.
So let's just remind the tower. Stansted Tower. Virgin 073 holding short runway 22.
Virgin 073, hold short of runway 22, Sierra vacating the runway.
So they've just taken off. Are we going to be given clearance to go line up now? They're disappearing off into the clouds up there.
Ryanair 13 Uniform Lima, contact departure. Good day.
Somebody tell us to line up, please. Can't see anybody coming in. What are we waiting for? Oh. That's who we're waiting for. Him.
Stansted Tower, Ryanair 74 Golf Hotel, established on the ILS runway 22.
Ryanair 74 Golf Hotel, roger.
Ryanair 813. Contact departure on 120.62.
That was funny.
FedEx 213. Contact departure on 120.62. Say 5 watts.
And departure now 120.625 FedEx.
Are they off the runway yet? Not quite, I don't think. See, a human.
Ryanair 49er Mike Charlie, contact ground on 121.73.
Switching to ground, Ryanair 49er Mike Charlie.
Tower Virgin 073 still holding short runway 22.
Virgin 073 heavy, runway 22, line up and wait.
Lining up runway 22, Virgin 073 heavy. Finally. It's just interesting to work through those procedures to see how it handles things. So there were valid reasons for us waiting so long. There was just a glut of other airplanes going and landing, and there's a single runway here. So it absolutely made sense that we were being made to wait.
Ryanair 37 Bravo, Victor holding short of 22, ready for departure.
Ryanair 37 Bravo, Victor, winds calm, runway 22, cleared for takeoff, safe travels.
So they'll be waiting now for
Takeoff, 22,
separation.
Ryanair 37 Bravo, Victor.
So navigation display looks good. The mode control panel looks good. Lights are good. Everything looks good.
Skyline 123.
Are they going to give us clearance today?
Skylane 3 Alpha Zulu, descend at altitude 2500 feet.
Descending 2500 feet.
I'm just looking at the live stream comments. When Say Intentions works well, it's absolutely brilliant. But now and again, you have to remember that a lot of it is in alpha. So they are actively working on it all the time and trying to improve it while people are using it, which is really tough to do. Unfortunately, everybody expects everything to be perfect immediately. And AI just doesn't work like that. It's just like trying to say you're expecting everybody to be a rocket scientist that never makes a mistake. Let's just remind them. Tower Virgin 073 heavy, waiting at runway 22. Come on.
Virgin 073, runway 22, hold short, you're number 1 behind the 737.
No, I'm not. I've had enough of
Cross
this.
runway 22, Ryanair 49er Mike Charlie.
Stansted Tower, Chanix 18 Papa Alpha, established on the ILS runway 22.
I'm just going to wait for that guy because it looks like he's just going to go and cross whatever.
Stansted Tower, Ryanair 833 Zulu, established on the ILS runway 22.
Ryanair 833 Zulu, roger.
Channix 8 Hotel Echo holding short of 22, ready for departure.
Channix 8 Hotel Echo,
I've had enough.
runway 22 cleared for takeoff. Safe travels.
Cleared for takeoff 22, Channix 8 Hotel Echo.
We'll see what happens with us doing this. Will we get written up?
6 at holding point 01, ready for departure.
And if he stops in the middle of the runway, oh, you absolute nutcase.
Tower, runway 22, hold short. You're number 1 behind the 73 max.
Stansted Tower, Channix 8 Victor Bravo, established on the ILS runway 22.
Channix 8 Victor Bravo, roger. Virgin 073, you are not cleared to take off. Advise when ready to copy a phone number for possible pilot deviation.
I think I'll be reporting you as well, so thank you.
Ryanair 9 Papa Whiskey. Contact departure on 120.625 or 544.
120.65 Ryanair 9 Papa Whiskey.
Virgin 073, understood. Have a safe flight.
Oh, I shouldn't have, really. But can you imagine how difficult it is to program a system to deal with chaotic situations? And yeah, the flight plan's wrong as well, look. So this is the second flight I've done in the A340, and this is wrong. It's got a tangent error on...
Virgin 073, contact departure on 120.625.
Contacting departures 120.625, Virgin 073 Heavy. Good day. Departures, Virgin 073 Heavy, departing Stansted on the UTAV 1 Romeo standard instrument departure for Edinburgh. So, will it get...
Virgin 73 Heavy.
This will be fascinating to see what this does.
Identified.
It should be... Let me turn the head tracking off.
Tower on 123.805, Ryanair 909er X-ray Quebec.
So is it going to try and go left, or will it go straight for the next waypoint?
Edinburgh Tower on 118.705.
I suspect this is just a rendering error.
Switching to Edinburgh Tower on 118.705, it's our Shuttle 8 Alpha.
Whenever you see an angle reverse, it's usually to do with tangent, and the maths has gone a little bit nutty. Is it going to try and turn us hard left? It is as well, isn't it? So we'll go direct 169B.
Contact South End Tower on 127.7 R3.
127.73 for Easy 63 Lima Zulu.
Departure, Ryanair 37 Bravo, Victor 2000.
So I've just straightened it up.
Ryanair 37 Bravo, Victor, radar contact, climb and maintain 11-1000.
Up to 11-1000, Ryanair 37 Bravo, Victor.
Air India 117 contact.
So transition altitude will be 6,000 feet. I wonder if that's got it programmed in here for the transition altitude.
Over to Birmingham Tower on 118.305, Air India 117.
Exec Charlie Oscar Bravo 1, contact Stansted Tower on 123.80G5.
Over to Stansted Tower 123.805, exec Charlie Oscar Bravo 1, thanks.
Stansted departure, Ryanair Kilo Bravo, flight level 020, flighting 040.
Departure, Speedbird 6442,000 for 4,000.
Speedbird 644, radar contact, climb and maintain 10,000.
Up to 10,000, Speedbird 644.
I love the way the weather interacts with the aeroplane like this. So we need to keep an eye on it. After Utava we'll be able to climb. So suddenly we'll have to take care of a few bits and pieces. So ground spoilers are no longer needed. Let's go and
23 Whiskey Echo contact Stansted Tower on 123.8
TARA on the TCAS
05.
123.805 for Center 23 Whiskey Echo.
And increase the
Speed
range.
644, contact London Control on 134.46.
There's lots of traffic over to our left.
For Speedbird 644. Good day.
I guess that's the Heathrow traffic.
Departure Ryanair 337 Bravo 2000 for 4000.
Ryanair 337, Bravo radar contact. Climb and maintain 13-3000.
We haven't been cleared any higher, have we?
Up to 13-3000 Ryanair 337 Bravo.
Virgin 73 Heavy, Stansted radar. Contact London Control on 133.525.
Contacting London Control 133.525, Virgin 073 Heavy. London Control, Virgin 073 Heavy with you at 4,000 feet, requesting higher.
Virgin 073, climb altitude 26,000 feet.
Climbing flight level 260, Virgin 073 Heavy. So that's something they haven't got quite in their instructions yet, isn't it? Anything above the transition altitude should be in flight levels, not in feet, so that's something they'll need to tighten up on, I guess. Is the A340 worth the money? Absolutely, it's fantastic. I mean, look, isn't that gorgeous? Look at it climb. Just open the engines and stretching its legs. So we do need to deal with some things, yeah. So look, QNH is flashing, so we go to barometric, standard barometric pressure now. And when we come through 10,000 feet, we're going to turn the landing lights off. That won't be for a little while, so we'll sit and watch the gorgeous aeroplane.
Birmingham, approach on 131.33.
Okay, just coming up through 10,000 feet. So, landing lights off. Beacon go and go back to auto. Whoops. If you can click it, that is. Oh, is it only gonna... That's interesting. That's a bug in the aeroplane. There's no middle setting unless you leave it in its initial.
We are now above the safe altitude, and I'm pleased to inform you that the use of electronic devices is now allowed. The lavatories are available, and our cabin service will begin shortly.
So let's put that on the flight plan page, put this one on the progress page.
Descend and maintain 4,000.
Down 4,000, uniform tango kilo. Confirm the current QNH for uniform tango kilo.
Kodiak Uniform Tango Kilo QNH 1005.
Virgin 073, climb flight level 290.
Climbing flight level 290, Virgin 073. So at the moment we're doing a managed climb. If we wanted to, we can do an open climb. So the airplane will climb at the best rate possible rather than the managed rate. So engines are running 94%. Typically on climb out you follow the instructions and don't take much notice of your planned altitudes or rates to them. So if you're instructed up to an altitude, you go open climb to get to it. On descent, different story. And that story does change around the world. I've done a fair bit of reading and asked around with real world pilots. So yeah, it tends to be around the world mostly. On climb out, you go straight to the altitude they've asked, ignoring constraints. If you are on descent, you obey the constraints. But you have to read the wording or listen to the wording of their instruction carefully. Quite often on descent they will say via, the star, and that means you're obeying the constraints.
Virgin 073, climb flight level 350.
Climbing flight level 350, Virgin 073.
Ryanair Kilo Bravo, London Control identified, greetings.
London Control, Ryanair Kilo Bravo, flight level 130, good afternoon.
So it's 80 miles. So there's our anticipated top of climb, just past the Trent VOR.
Logan 4 Echo Whiskey contact. Bryce talk down radar on 123.555.
So this will give you estimated fuel on block throughout the route, which is quite useful. So by the time we get to Edinburgh, we should have 7 tons of fuel left, which is lots. Yeah, so answering the question in the live stream, is the A340 worth the money? Absolutely. It's very, very good. If you have flown the A320 version 2 in the simulator, which is the Inibuilds Asobo collaboration, then you're not going to have any problems flying this. It's broadly similar. It's just bigger. It's worth noting this is the newer version. There's 2 versions that you get with it. This one has the newer fascias that look, a bit shinier.
073, climb flight level 380.
Climbing flight level 380, Virgin 073. That's high. Why are they sending us up to 380? We'll be in cruise for about 80 miles. Or less than that, 30 miles, 40 miles even. So climb, 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 and then descend, descend, descend. So while we're flying along, we could go and have a look at the star that we're doing today. So in P1 Echo, it takes us down through Tartan. So we come in at INPIP flight level 260. So when we get to top of descent, we'll go and put ourselves on managed mode to bring ourselves down. And then we come through Tartan, and I imagine we'll be given vectors into CA24, because yeah, this is not part of the plan. Be interesting to have a look in the aeroplane and see what it's actually got there. So after Tartan, what happens? Straight to CA24 with no brake. But I would imagine we'll be given vectors. We'll find out. If not, I wonder if we can insert the waypoint in to square this off. Maybe we don't. Maybe we see what the aeroplane's like doing the tight turn into CI24. While we're thinking of it, performance, next phase, and next phase. So approach data for Edinburgh. Wind 250 at 10. That's close enough for the moment. QNH is 1033. So that's the barometric pressure on the ground. Temperature 16 degrees centigrade. So we said, what was it, 250 at 10 knots at the moment. That might change by the time we get there, but at least we've done it. Transition altitude is 6,000 at Edinburgh. So Barrow, what does that mean? Let's go and have a look. If we're using ILS with Cat 3 system, we can have 50 foot as our decision, and that will be a radio, not Barrow. Okay. So Sasha is saying, is the runway in Edinburgh long enough for this aircraft to land? We're going to find out. I've landed bigger stuff there. I've got the 747 into Edinburgh before. It was a bit of a squeaky one, but we'll see. No, it should be fine. This has got reversers. It's got really good reversers, actually. I don't know if you can see them from the outside easily. See these panels here? They flip out backwards. So they look kind of like, it's hard to explain. Makes each engine look like the last Starfighter. It is a beast though, isn't it? I mean, if we go and have a wander around. So get up and go for a walk. I'm not sure how far we can get doing this around the cabin, but we'll try. Yeah, that's what I thought might happen. We can't quite get through that gap. You have to be quite careful about how you do it. Can we make other things work? Apparently not. Yeah, the whole plane's modelled though in the most ridiculous level of detail.
Exec Charlie Oscar Bravo 1. Contact London Control on 133.6.
Over to London Control on 133.6, exec Charlie Oscar Bravo 1.
How many coffee pots have they got? So we can say, should we say to our intrepid co-pilot, "Hi Amanda, can you take over radio communications for a while, please?"
Sure, Jonathan. I'll handle the radios now.
Also, hi cabin crew, can we get some coffee in the cockpit, please?
Of course, Captain. I will bring some coffee to the cockpit right away.
And mind you don't trip over with the coffee. If it goes in the workings of the aeroplane, you'll be owed about £200 million.
Oh, don't worry, Captain. I'll be extra careful with the coffee. I'll bring it to you shortly.
Oh dear. The stupid things that amuse me from time to time. So just out of interest, I was talking about this with somebody the other day. I couldn't remember just how heavy the A340 was. So if we go and look in the payload and planning screen, actually a takeoff calculator would be a better place to look, wouldn't it? So our weight was 175 tons. That's mad, isn't it? I said at least 150. I didn't realise it was as heavy as that. 175 tons. And it lifts off the ground. So this monster weighs 175 tons. How many people are we carrying? Did it say on the payload screen? No. Oh, that's a shame. Oh no, PAX count, there we go. 267 people. So it's coming up towards 38,000 feet. We're the shortest cruise ever. So we're going to go and turn the seatbelt sign off. They'll have to race to the toilet. And we know we have to come back down to 26,000 feet on the constraints for the star, but we're really interested in our final altitude that we need to get to, which is 4,000 by the look of it, if you follow the DME arc, or 3,000 for the turn for the runway. So we're going to be at cruise for almost no time at all. So I'll leave that setting there, but I've not done anything with it yet. we're about 40 miles from... Actually, yeah, let's leave that where it was set, which was 39, wasn't it? Or was it 38? Maybe it was 38, I can't remember now. Should we have a look at the conversation? I've just gone and pressed the magic keyboard combination which jumps you into the air, which I've done once before and I can't remember how I did it. I think it's tab and space then, based on what just happened. So we've now gone beyond... Oh, this is going to make descending really dodgy, so let's go for 3000 now. And we'll do an open descent. Actually no, managed descent. Let's do managed descent. So at the moment, you'll see from the little marker, we are above our planned altitude. So when that reappears, flight level 260, look, that's where it wants to get to. So yeah, 390 was the original plan. Let's put it back to that until we get to top of descent. So the airplane's winding out the altitude. It'll probably climb back a little bit to get there. So there's Edinburgh. Obviously we've got quite a long range on this. Look, that's 130 miles away. 140 miles away. They're going to have to throw the sandwiches at them because we're going to begin descending pretty much immediately. They're not going to like me for this, are they? So top of descent. Here we go. 3,000 feet. And a managed descent to 3,000. So if we put the constraints, oh, they're already showing. Okay, so at this zoom level you can't see them. If we pull the range down, I think they start to show up. Yeah, you've got flight level 260 showing up, look.
Easy 723 Mike, radar contact. Virgin 073 cleared NP1 Echo arrival into Edinburgh. When you're ready to begin your descend flight level 300.
Descending flight level 30 on the NP1 Echo standard terminal arrival route into Edinburgh, Virgin 073.
Cleared NP1 Echo arrival into Edinburgh. Descend flight level 300 when ready. Virgin 73.
That was, I forgot, Amanda's talking for us, isn't she? So we've just doubled up our communication, which was wonderful.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have now left our cruising altitude and have started our approach to Edinburgh. Please return to your seats, stow your tables and fasten your seatbelts. Unfortunately, the use of the lavatories is no longer allowed at this time. Thank you for your cooperation.
So we can't see the flight plan on here at the moment because we didn't load it. So let's open the flight plan from Simbrief, and it should give us some idea. There we go. So the bit we don't know about is this, and if we go and show the arrival approach, ILS 24, insert. So Tartan's going to send us straight off over there, but I imagine we'll get vectors at Tartan, so we'll see what happens.
Virgin 073, contact Scottish Control on 128.055.
Contacting Scottish Control 128.055, Virgin 073, good day. And we've taken over from, what's the name again, haven't we? Let's go and tell her we don't need her to talk. Hi Amanda, I'll take over radio comms.
Scottish Control, Virgin 73. Good afternoon. We're descending from flight level 360 to flight level 300.
You've got the radios now.
That's amazing, she can talk to two people at once.
Virgin 73, Scottish Control identified. Good afternoon.
It's funny, isn't it? It's force of habit. I do so much communication myself. Handing it off and then letting it go is more difficult than you'd imagine.
Virgin 73, Scottish Control, descend flight level 270.
Descending flight level 270, Virgin 073. So we'll just put the target in that they've told us. And I've done an open descent for the moment. We're not in the star yet. Star begins at INPIP. Let's bring the range down. So throttles are idle. So if we can't make this, so there's our estimated arrival at the altitude, and there's INPIP 1,000 feet below our target, which is interesting. I don't know why they've asked us to go to 270 and not lower. So there's a live stream comment, we'll need a manual landing. Yeah, I always land manually anyway, if I can help it. If you've got zero visibility, and you know, it's even, it depends, doesn't it? TCAS, sorry, not TCAS,
Delta Papa X-ray, climb and maintain flight level 430.
Climb and maintain flight level 430, Delta Papa X-ray.
The auto landing system on the Airbuses can do a zero altitude, so you know, the Cat 3 ILS can auto land in zero visibility, because obviously it doesn't need to see, because it's not looking in the way that a human does. It's reading radio signals.
Virgin 073, descend flight level 200.
Descending flight level 200, Virgin 073. So they're trying to get us to in-rev at the correct altitude. So Jigme is asking, when should you disconnect the autopilot? Or when do I do it? I'm going to do it as soon as we're lined up. So as soon as we come around the turn and we are on the localizer for the centre line, I'll go and switch everything off. It's in the Airbuses, it's a bit kind of goes against the aeroplane to turn the auto throttle off completely, because it's for one thing it's really good at maintaining speed. For another thing, it's just You know, what are you proving by using the throttle yourself? When it's a FADEC throttle system anyway? I mean, this isn't connected to the engines at all. This is selecting a computer program. Your actual range of throttle is between there and there, between climb and zero. You know, to have an in quotes analog throttle setting. So you're better off leaving auto throttle on, as long as you've got speed. Obviously there's managed speed in the flight plan, otherwise you wouldn't be able to have this set to managed mode on the speed. So the approach and arrival will have those numbers plugged in. Otherwise you'd have to go to selected mode on the mode control panel, or FMGC is it called in the Airbus? I can never remember all of these acronyms.
Virgin 073, descend flight level 070.
No, FGCP, sorry, Flight Guidance Control Panel.
Descend flight level 200.
Descend flight level 200, Skyway 400.
Skyway 400, descend flight level 070.
Descend flight level 070, Skyway 400.
Descending flight level 070, virtual 073. So is that for a... I'm just looking at the constraints. Why would they have told us to go straight for that altitude? Oh, it's for tartan. Okay. And then once we get to tartan, well, they'll be giving us vectors, I would imagine. We'll see. So Aidan says, how are we enjoying the new plane? It's fantastic fun. It's a big old heavy Airbus. Just descending down over... Are we over the borders yet? Let's have a look. No, we're not, are we? We're still over the UK. Oh no, I tell a lie, we've just gone over the border, I think, or we're just about to. Look, there's the border. So we're into Scotland in a few seconds. So we just passed over Carlisle. Yeah, the Peebles is along our route. So we'll be going across the hills soon. And then we arrive at Tartan, hopefully at 7,000 feet. And hopefully then we get given vectors in towards the ILS runway 24 Edinburgh. But as everybody has said in the comments, not sure if we'll get the A340 onto the runway at Edinburgh. We'll go fully manual to achieve it. Should be good fun. So it's coming down to 20,000 feet. It's a lovely cloudy day, haven't I?
Contact Newcastle approach on 124.38.
124.38 Newcastle.
Is there much other traffic around? Oh, there's a few. Look, there's an A320 following the same route. I wonder if he's going to
contacting Newcastle at
do a sudden turn.
124.38.
I'd have imagined he might have turned away and then come back in. We shall see. Wonder what will happen to us. See, this is anticipating we're going to miss the 7,000 feet at Tartan, so I'm going to throw the spoilers out and help the aeroplane. So you can see that retreating, but not very much. It takes a while to slow down a 170-ton aeroplane, doesn't it? So you can see that is retracting slowly. So what we've done there is thrown these spoilers open, look, which is giving us some drag, allowing us to descend a little bit faster. There we go, look, you can see the altitude target is now this side of Tartan, which is where we need to be at 7,000 feet.
Virgin 073, contact Edinburgh approach on 121.205.
Contacting Edinburgh approach 121.205, Virgin 073. Edinburgh approach, Virgin 073 with you, just below 14,000 feet, descending for 7,000 at Tartan.
Virgin 73 Heavy, Edinburgh approach identified. Good afternoon. Expect the ILS runway 24 approach into Edinburgh.
Expecting ILS runway 24 into Edinburgh, Virgin 073. Okay, let's take the spoilers back away.
Virgin 073, turn right, heading 035 vectors for the ILS runway 24 approach.
Yeah, they're giving us instructions, look. Turning right, heading 035 vectors for the ILS runway 24 approach, Virgin 073 Heavy. So we go heading mode 35. They're squaring off the approach, aren't they? They're not even letting us come through Tartan. Then we'll get vectors in a bit later on to the left, I guess.
Cabin crew, please check that everyone is seated and has fastened their seatbelts.
So we're down below 10,000 feet now. Landing lights on.
Please turn off your electronic devices and stow them until we arrive at the gate. Kindly put your tray tables away. Ensure your seats are in their full upright position and fasten your seatbelts.
We had a speed limit violation a moment ago. Oh, we're still now, look, the aeroplane is it shouldn't have carried on down. It should have held at 10,000 feet. Oh, we're going straight for 7,000 though, aren't we? We're not going managed mode, therefore it's not going to hold the constraint to stop the aeroplane. That's why we've got the speed overrun. So we should be 250 knots or less below 10,000 feet. So I've thrown the spoilers out fully open, as you can see here, look, to get our speed down. So you'll notice the flight plan's gone dotted because it means we're not following it anymore, we're on heading mode. So if we get direct into any of these future waypoints, like Charlie India 24, we'll just do a direct to on the FMC and then re-pick up managed heading mode.
Ryanair 8 Juliet Echo contact Edinburgh Tower on 118.705.
118.705 for Ryanair 8 Juliet Echo.
Virgin 073, descend altitude 5,000.
Descending 5,000, Virgin 073.
Climb flight level 060, Logan 343.
Logan 343, climb flight level 180.
We'll use the speed brakes
Climb
as well
flight
to
level
help.
180, Logan 343.
take the spoilers away. So we've got the standard barometric pressure is showing up. So we need to go to the local barometric pressure, which is 1033. If I can get the simulator to come back to the front. It did this to me the other day. There we go, that's that done. So we've got landing lights on, we've got barometric pressure set for the local pressure for Edinburgh. So our altitude now agrees with the ground, basically. How does this aircraft compare with the Phoenix? It's not quite up to the level of the Phoenix, but it's not bad. And I think unless you're a real world pilot, you wouldn't be able to split hairs on it, to be honest. And I'm not. But it's plenty good enough to have some fun. And as a colleague of mine used to say years ago, for a given value of fun. Okay, so we're trundling along. The managed speed's already come down, look, to 230 knots, which is interesting. So maybe we take care of that ourselves now and start managing speed ourselves.
For departure, Air 2660, airborne 2100.
So we're holding 5,000 feet, just dribbling the speed off to 220 knots.
Air 2660, climb flight level 210.
We'll be expecting a turn in at some point towards CI24, I would imagine.
Virgin 073, turn left, heading 340.
Turning left, heading 340, Virgin 073. Which gets us in the ballpark for CI24, look. They're not stupid, are they? CI24, look, and we're going to be ending, so they're just taking the corner off. Let's go and check the ILS frequency then while we are here. 108.9240 degrees. Inside the aeroplane we have got 108.9 at 239 degrees, close as. Okay, so put that back on flight plan for the moment. So we need 3,000 feet when we get within range of that, but we'll wait for instruction. We were told to be at 5,000, so we'll follow what we've been told. Air brakes are off. Whistling across the hills towards the Firth of Forth, which is just over here. And the bridges are a bit further upstream. There's the ocean. So our next turn will be over the Firth of Forth towards the approach. So yeah, looking at Aidan's comment there in the live stream, A330 driver, it's a manual, isn't it, on YouTube. He's fantastic. He shares so much knowledge, far more than a lot of the others. I think some of them maybe are not quite sure what they're allowed to share, and I know he works quite closely with some of the developers.
Clearance British 673 information Papa. Request IFR clearance.
So I wouldn't be surprised if he's paid, perhaps by some of them as a consultant, because the level of knowledge he can give is invaluable.
Virgin 073 Heavy, proceed direct CI24, descend altitude 3000 until established on the localizer, cleared for the ILS, runway 24 approach.
Direct CI24, descend 3,000 feet until established on the ILS for runway 24, Virgin 073. Where's my flight plan gone? It's broken. Clear the discontinuity. Yeah, it's broken it. Oh well, we're on heading mode. So that's the first bug I've seen, to be honest. Let's go to a different page and come back. Yeah, it's completely broken. Look. So was it the Direct 2 that did it? See, Direct CI24 flight plan. Yeah. Balked. So we need to do heading immediately. And we need the help of LittleNavMap briefly. So measure distance. We want 290 degrees.
Departure Qatari 73 Bravo 2000 for 4000.
We need
Qatari
to get
73
the
Bravo
altitude
radar
to
contact.
3000.
Climb and maintain 11.
Open descent.
1000.
Climb 11, 1000, Qatari 73 Bravo.
We'll also go flaps 1, which will give us even more drag. So we'll be crow braking essentially. Yeah, we lost. At that point I did that, this went wrong. There's obviously a bug in it. This is version 1 of the aeroplane, remember. There's going to be things like this that happen. So we're just trying to get onto the center line for the landing system to kick in. So if we were to put in landing system now, we'll see. There's the runway direction.
Contact, Scottish control.
There's the CDI showing our position relative to the center line. The ILS is already showing glide slope is above us.
Qatari 73 Bravo.
Here comes 3,000 feet.
Edinburgh to departure, looking for IFR clearance to Dublin. We're an Airbus A320 on stand 1. Firefly 1032.
So we want
Departure Diamond
flaps
36
2 is
Romeo
190
Bravo,
something
flight
knots.
level 060.
So if we can get to 190 knots, we can go flaps
Clear
2.
direct
Let's go 180.
D050C, climb 5000, Diamond 6 Romeo Bravo.
So you can see us rolling in towards the center line.
Virgin 073, contact Edinburgh Tower on 118.705 at 5 DME.
Contacting Edinburgh Tower 118.705 at 5 DME, Virgin 073. So we don't need to contact them just yet. You can see here comes the glide slope. And we'll go flaps 2. And we'll go gear down. We're going to watch that happen.
Virgin 073, contact Edinburgh Tower on 118.705.
They're obviously playing around with the procedures, aren't they? Insane intentions. Contacting Edinburgh Tower 118.705, Virgin 073. Good day. Edinburgh Tower, Virgin 073 with you on approach for runway 24.
Virgin 073, roger, good day.
Virgin 73 Heavy, Edinburgh Tower. Roger, continue approach, runway 24.
Okay, so if we press the approach button now, we're close enough that the aeroplane can grab it, and it will start descending all on its own. Is it going to have done it? Was I too late? No, it's going. Look, it's chasing the
Virgin 73 Heavy, Edinburgh Tower. Winds 250 at 10. Runway 24, cleared to land.
Clear to land, runway 24, Virgin 073. So we'll bring this back down to 160 knots.
2,500.
We'll have to use the spoilers because we're going downhill and this is a grubby old heavy lump. Okay, so we are going to go and turn the autopilot off. We get a warning there, and we also get another one. We have to press the red button on the joystick to get rid of it. The runway's out in front of us. So, just to prove this, I'm going to wiggle the wings, and that's maximum deflection, and that's your roll rate. So we'll leave auto throttle on. 160 knots is fine. So there's the runway. So we can see there's the glide slope. If we put landing system on, we'll also get the markers showing up alongside the primary flight display, so we can see we're off to the left, which we can see we are, and we're slightly high. We're just coming back through the glide slope, just throwing the aeroplane around, getting a feel for it really. So hands are on the throttles, ready to pull them back when we get to the runway. So I'm letting the aeroplane manage our speed. Let's bring it back to 150 knots. Still got the speed brakes out, so I'll be looking to remove them in a moment. Going to full flaps. Okay, should we go auto throttle off as well? Go to idle. So we're a bit low. It's just going back onto the glide slope.
Speed.
That's interesting, isn't it? So the engine pickup is really slow. So you need to be aware of that.
Speed. 400. 300.
So a little bit off to the left. A little bit low.
Speed 200.
It certainly loses speed quickly.
Welcome to Edinburgh. Contact ground on 121.908.
Speed 100. 90.
Cargo Air 118, contact departure on 128.908.
40.
Departure on 128.98, Cargo Air 118.
So that's the reversers out. So let's go and have a look at them. They're good, aren't they? And wheel brakes, and off the reversers, so they don't start sucking rubbish up into themselves.
Virgin 073, contact ground on 121.755.
Contacting ground 121.755, Virgin 073.
Virgin 073, cross runway 22.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Edinburgh. We hope you enjoyed your flight with us today.
So we had lots of runway left, but I came in on the limit, so
It's a fantastic place to experience culture and creativity. Please remain seated until we reach our final parking position. On behalf of Captain Jonathan, First Officer Amanda, and the entire crew, thank you.
Canex 15, Lima Charlie, holding short 24.
Local time here is 3:44 p.m. If you have any upcoming connection.
Edinburgh ground, Virgin 073, requesting taxi to the gate, please. So what gate will they give us?
456 to Manchester departs at 4:30 p.m. from gate 7. Thank you.
Virgin 073, taxi to terminal gate 4A via Alpha Echo. Good day.
4A via Alpha Echo, Virgin 073. So let's go and have a look at that on the map. I don't think they give you the parking chart by default, do they? Alpha Echo. 4A is going to be down here. Yeah, so it's going to be one of the big gates. So if we go Edinburgh, charts, taxi park stands. 4 is the one with the stuck out bit. Okay. So it's going to be that one, isn't it? I think, or is it next that one? Let's have another look.
India, requesting clearance to Belfast.
The first one after the corner of the building, basically, so it's this one.
Stand by.
This is all agreed by the Gosei 1 Charlie departure. Departure runway 24, climb 6000, score 3322, easy 54, Tango Foxtrot. Edinburgh ground, easy 54, Tango Foxtrot with information Charlie, requesting clearance to Aldergrove.
Chenex 71 Hotel Charlie, contact tower on 118.705.
We're going to go for 4.
Tower, Chenex 71 Hotel Charlie.
So the big question is, as mentioned by someone else, will we fit? This isn't a really high definition version of Edinburgh, so the paint on the ground maybe isn't quite correct. That's not bad though, is it? We kind of fit. Ground Virgin 073 is on the blocks. Let's wind the what are we doing? Strobes off, beacons off, seatbelts off. Go and turn the fuel pumps off. Have we got ground power here at Edinburgh? So ground equipment, attach the GPU, attach the chocks, and then we've got external power available now. So then we can go and turn the engines off.
Easy 901 Golf Alpha contact tower on 118.705. All.
Over to tower, Easy 901 Golf Alpha.
Edinburgh ground, Lufthansa 6 Hotel Whiskey, requesting IFR clearance to Frankfurt. As filed, I have information Whiskey. Clear to Frankfurt via the TLA 6 Delta departure, initial altitude 6,000 feet.
Okay, so we should be able to say
4125, expect runway 6.
Toggle jetway.
Lufthansa 6
and then
Hotel Whiskey.
Open the door.
Lufthansa 6 Hotel Whiskey, read back correct. Golf Foxtrot November, uniform, Foxtrot contact tower on 118.705.
Over to tower, Golf Foxtrot, November, uniform, Foxtrot.
So we'll go and get rid of the radio now. So radio check channel, just to keep it quiet. And then we'll say to the cabin crew, you can disembark with passengers now.
Dear passengers, we have reached our final parking position. Captain Jonathan and the cabin crew are now saying goodbye. We wish you a nice stay here in Edinburgh or safe ongoing travel. Thank you for flying with Virgin Atlantic.
There we go. Obviously it's out of place flying a Virgin Atlantic plane just across the country to go from England to Edinburgh, but there you go. So we've got a comment in the channel. The signs on the taxiway are a bug, right? Yeah, the default version of Edinburgh that comes with the sim isn't very good, but I just haven't upgraded it. I will at some point. I'll go and get one either from Inibuilds or somewhere else. There's several versions of Edinburgh around, so we can go and clear the messages out. We can go cold and dark now if we wanted to. So all we need to do that is go and disconnect the ground power and go and turn the batteries off. We've done everything else. And there we go. We're cold and dark. And if we wanted to, we could, if we can get past the seats, we can go and wander out, and you can see there's the jet bridge. Very cool. Did we actually get the display screen? Oh, we can't get further out than that. Oh, that's a shame. I wonder if the controls can be operated from here as well for the door. Probably not. Oh, that's a shame. Anyway. There we go. We made it. Got to Edinburgh in one piece. I'm going to leave it there. I'll see you all again soon. Take care. That was good fun.